You're ready for love and you really desire love, but you fear heartbreak. And so this is not anything new. I've said this before that, you're afraid that the past will predict the future and that the future will be just like the past. And because of this past hurts, like you really want to move forward towards your special person, towards your Mr. Right. But the fear has really caused you to withdraw and to retreat. And so there's a reason why you don't have what you want when it comes to love. There's a reason why, like you're a professional woman. You are, dare I say it, successful in almost every other area of your life, except for this area. And the problem that's standing in your way is that although you want love, like because of that fear, because of the fear of the heartbreak, you energetically fight the steps that it takes to create change by choosing to remain in indecision. Like, I get it. It feels good. You may not even realize that you are in indecision because really it's indecision. It's indecision disguised as waiting on God. Like you have withdrawn and totally retreated. And like I said before, it feels safe. It feels good to you. It feels like neutral territory. You're not like you're good right here. But the thing is that waiting on God without doing your part really damages your confidence because it leaves you powerless. You feel powerless and feeling as though you have no control in the outcomes of your life. That's why you're successful at work, because you know that you have control in the outcomes of that. But here in your love life, you feel like you have no control of the outcome. And it's because of the state of indecision. And when you're in the state of indecision, what happens is that you have relegated yourself to the basic woman status. You put yourself in the endless cycle of approaching men, love, dating, and relationships from the mindset of the basic woman, meaning that you are, I'm looking out the window and there's a man cutting the lawn. So what was I saying? So basic woman cycle, basic woman status, hoping that a man pops up in your sphere, right? Having boring conversation, maybe going on a few dates, prematurely bonding with him, wondering where you stand, wondering if there's something wrong with you because you don't know what's going on, and then ultimately retreating and waiting on God. But you haven't said, no, I'm totally done with this love. Like, I'm totally done with love, or I'm totally done with being single, right? Instead, because you have not made an indecision, you're suffering. Because indecision is suffering. Indecision is a decision for more of the same. Indecision is a decision to stay where you are. And as one of my mentors shared with me, indecision is the highest form of self-sabotage. Should you decide, if you decide to continue to wait on God, disguised when it's really indecision, when you continue, should you decide to continue to saying that you're waiting on God when really you're in a state of indecision because you're not really sure how to move forward, so you're just stuck, you'll continue to hide. You continue to move forward in fear. And really the unfortunate thing about this is that you are patterning yourself, and I've spoken about this before, you are patterning yourself for mediocrity because the mindset of the basic woman is starting to take root within you. And you'll continue to hide. You'll continue to settle for what's not yours. You continue to stay in relationships longer than you know because you know it's a totally dead-end story. You'll continue to wonder if something is wrong with you. And let me say this. Here's a personal story about how indecision really kind of shows up. So, because this is not just me preaching at you, I'm speaking from experience. There was a point in our marriage where right when we were pregnant, and I knew that it was time to really take our marriage to the next level. And there was a breakthrough that we needed. And I know that I needed to do my part. I couldn't place blame on my husband. I couldn't say what he was doing and how I was hurt from the past, because essentially that is what I was doing. I was holding on to the past. And I had a conversation with one of my accountability sisters. And she asked me, she said, Monique, what percentage of you is willing to let this go? Before a number even popped up in my head, I burst out into tears and I said, who would I be without this? But who would I be without this? Who would I be without the anger? Who would I be without the fear? Who would I be without the blame and the ability to one up, to hold on to this past and one up on this man? Who would I be without that? I'm saying that to say there's a part of you, there may be a part of you that is afraid of what life will look like outside of the suffering, outside of the misery. So who are you being miserable for? Like, there's so much more for you on the other side, right? When you're able to own your power, take control of your life, step into personal responsibility, because that's really the solution here. Take personal responsibility, because any area of your life that is not yielding the results that you want is an area of your life in which you have not taken personal responsibility. That's something I heard from one of my mentors. And let me say this, when I say mentor, this is not oh, let me reach out to you like, will you be my mentor? No, this is about, Monique, putting your money where your mouth is. And I have made significant investments in myself because I value my future more than my fears. My desires are greater than all the fears that suppresses them. And I know that this is possible for you too. Like, you can get to the other side. You can open up your heart. You can have what you want. Because when you begin to take personal responsibility, you'll feel more calm. You'll feel more open. And you'll have control. You feel like as though you will be a woman who's in control without controlling. You will have control over the outcomes in your life. And life is all about creating the environment that is favorable, that is creating an environment that will produce a favorable outcome. And so, are you really doing your part? Because when you energetically fight the change, you're deciding to stay stuck. But when you take personal responsibility for the outcomes in your life, when you take responsibility for this area of your life, so much more is possible for you. You feel in position to attract the man you want. You feel confident about your ability to sustain that relationship and have the relationship that you want. You feel confident that you're able to speak your piece without starting a fight. You feel confident that you can really honor yourself through the boundaries that you set with yourself. This is all that's available for you should you decide to step in and really give yourself permission to create the change that's necessary. And oftentimes it requires support to do this. This is something that I had to make significant investments in order to get to this level. And guess what? I'm still growing, because anything that's not growing is dead. All right. So if this message served you, if you are no longer willing to be the same, if you say that you're ready for love, but you know that you need help to get to the other side, you know that you have some internal work to do, like you want to cultivate your inner landscape so that you are totally prepared to receive the love that you desire, right? This is a little bit about worthiness and deserve level, right? Because all of this fighting, this pushing and pulling is keeping you where you are. So if you want to learn more, and if you're ready to move forward, go ahead and click on the link below. I have a free training in the description box. It's called the 5 Simple Shifts My Clients Have Used to Find and Keep Mr. Right Without Compromising Your Values. Okay. So my next marching order for you is, if you like this video, go ahead and share it with 2 women that you know. If it is serving you and giving value, not just if you like it, but if there's something that you learned today that you hadn't heard before, share it with just 2 women that you know, because when you share, you add value. And then if you've been watching my videos for a minute and you haven't subscribed, well, why not? Go ahead and do that, okay? My name is Monique Head, and I will see you in the next video. Take care and God bless.